Dare I say it? Dare I say it?
What are you saying?
Hit the gas and we out of there.
Hit the gas and we out of there. Maybe one note for, someone who wants to start a podcast or like makes content.
Yeah.
What?
What? No, go. Keep going.
You were alarmed.
No, I'm just curious where you're going with this.
When you mix...
Okay.
When you mix like an SM7B or these mics,
Yeah.
the pod mic that we have by Rode, you don't need to do that much. It's a human voice. It's intimate.
Right.
When it comes across warm and comforting, it's like it's enjoyable to listen to. You're not mixing pop vocals. You don't need to scoop out everything below 500. You can maybe tame it if your room is echoey and stuff like that, but you don't have to EQ this a bunch. Maybe just a little bump at the bottom end, and take off the harshness maybe on the top end if it's a brittle sound. But warmer is better. How do you hear voice in real life is how you want it to come across on the podcast, so that it's intimate.
And
Anyways,
on that note, welcome to TalkBox.
This is TalkBox. Welcome to TalkBox.
TalkBox. Is it the TalkBox or TalkBox?
No, it just has to be TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox.
Okay.
TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox. TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox.
Okay. It can be loose. It can be free.
Okay. TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox.
Okay.
TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox.
This is
TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox. TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox.
This is TalkBox. Yeah. That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Boom. Intro. Check that out.
Everyone's reels sound so awful.
We're in Joker mode.
Maybe
right now,
ours
huh?
do as well, but come on, it's like it sounds like they're talking like this. Like they took out everything out of the spectrum of sound. They took all of it out besides the top end.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Not bad. Throw on a Mog EQ4.
Everything sounds so
Crank
nasally.
Crank it. Okay. And on that note, today, sorry, I'm Matchi.
You see that? You like cars, no? Narek.
I had a mutual say, your intonation is very Armenian now. I went, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Cursed.
You're welcome.
So on today's episode, we are talking about YouTube University.
That's a theory, right? YouTube University is that you can learn anything on YouTube. It's like it's its own free education.
Yeah.
Which is basically how we both, developed our careers.
Everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
Everything we know.
Not just in music, but also when I was in school for engineering. And that's how I learned all
That's
this.
how everyone learns.
And before I learned that in engineering, I built my computer, and that's how I learned how to troubleshoot. Right? A lot of people don't know how to troubleshoot because they just don't know how to look things up.
On YouTube.
On Google, on YouTube, anything. And it's insane because people think I'm the greatest IT man of all time when I just look things up.
But listen, it's not just YouTube University. We're going to give you a bunch of resources that we've used over the years that could help you in furthering your education in the best way possible. Because we've done we've done the bad methods, we've done the good methods. For a lot of things, YouTube is not great. I'm going to tell you that right now. YouTube is not great for a lot of things.
Bold.
Yeah. It depends. You have to find good sources, right? It's like YouTube is very saturated with a lot of information.
With a lot of bad information.
If you learn how to mix on YouTube, you are influenced by the first person you see that you think that is the way to do it.
Right.
So it's very dangerous. It's like whatever they do on that video, you're going to imitate that.
Yep.
We are creatures of imitation. Everything that you learn first is exactly how you're going to do it. So having a good first impression is very healthy.
So in today's episode, we are going to crash course John Green's Crash Course. Did you ever watch that in school?
I think I have. It sounds very familiar.
It might have been after your time. It was it started to get really popular in high schools, like around my sophomore, junior year of high school, where people would watch Crash Courses more seriously.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
John Green.
John Green sounds familiar.
The Green brothers, the Vlog brothers.
Okay.
John Green and Hank Green brothers, they have like fucking 10, 15 YouTube channels, just like across science and academics.
Oh, okay. I've probably seen some of those videos. I also didn't take any sciences or math
in high school.
I wasn't in high school when this came out.
Yeah. Okay, sure. But a lot of it, the ones that I look most fondly back on are the literature ones, like talking about, dude, he talks about what's that one book? Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
And he
Never read it.
roasts the shit out of Lord of the Flies because the book, you read it in school, it's atrocious.
Really?
It's incredibly misogynistic. It's incredibly it has a terrible view on tribal people, on Native Americans. It's incredibly racist and
Classic schooling system.
And John Green comes on, a 30-minute video, he just roasts it. Bar. Just
Let him cook.
It felt so good. I was like, damn.
Okay, listen. Are we gonna start with audio?
Yeah.
Okay. The most beneficial thing I did, the first resource that I'm gonna give you so that this is your starting point, is that this is a free, we're talking about things that are free education.
Let's explain starting point. So this is for people who literally are I have no idea what I'm doing. I want to get into this field.
But also to further your education as well.
Sure.
But mostly, yes, for the beginner, right? It's very important for the beginner to have good forming thoughts in the beginning. But what I'm about to say right now is also for people who are in an intermediate level, I think.
Right.
So what was most beneficial for me is that my dad once told me when I was doing this, why don't you look up, and I am a product of the community college system. My entire family is so deeply rooted in the proudly deeply rooted in the community college system that I would make fun of people that went to 4-year institutions off the bat.
Really?
Blatantly,
Wow.
openly. Because I knew a lot of people that went to USC freshman year. 2 years, $120,000 to $140,000 to take your GEs.
Yeah.
To take your GEs. These are the same classes you're taking at a community college. It's not specialty classes.
Yeah.
So, and because everyone that I know that went to community college had such a great time and it's such a good transition into university lifestyle.
Can I say something?
Out of high school, yeah.
The community college rhetoric in my hometown was extremely different.
That being said, the Glendale Community College is
The
one of
community
the
colleges here are very nice.
are very nice.
Yeah.
My community college was beautiful. You go and it's in the hills of Glendale. It's literally built within the mountain. It's
Glendale
all
Community
green.
College is what Community was based on.
Yeah, that's what the show Community is based on.
There you go.
Very similar vibe. No, I'm joking. What's his name? Dan Green? Or what's the I forgot the director's name is, but he went to Glendale Community College.
The
director of that show. The writer of that show. Anyways, so my dad told me
Dan Harmon.
My cousin is a dean there. All my cousins, siblings, everyone went to Glendale Community College. We all loved it. My dad told me, why don't you look at courses at the community college? This is after I'm pretty much done with college. I think I'm like, why would I do that? Blah, 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 blah. And then I ended up just looking out of interest, and there was a whole audio program there that no one knows about. Recording, mixing, production, EDM, classical music, jazz,
Wow.
post-production stuff. There's a Pro Tools certification course, which they have, which by the way is very expensive if you don't get it at a community college. It could be $1,000, $2,000. They offer it at this community college. Each course unit is $40-something.
Wow.
So if you take a 3-unit class, it's like $150. Let's say it's
No
$150.
How?
But if you are low income or you can't provide the income for it, right? You will most likely get financial aid. Most people I knew were on financial aid.
Maybe I should start going to Glendale Community College.
It is actually so fun. We should take a course together. I'm not even joking.
We should.
It would be so fun.
That sounds like fun.
They have
honestly.
so many classes, and it's the most fun moments of my life. And I've taken out of my education, and I've taken courses even after I was done with college, and I had such a good time being in those classes. It's really a great environment with great faculty, and so that is one thing I would point to. If you want to get into audio, get your Pro Tools certification. That will help you landing some studio gigs, or even maybe if you want to get to post production, it'll help you with post production work for sure. And then also, I made a huge connection of friends at that school that were all engineers and producers. It's a small program right now, but it's crazy funded. That means there's no one going to these programs, but they have $500,000 worth of gear sitting there that not a lot of people are using. So it's an incredible program, and I was really happy. There was a lot of very well established engineers that were taking the course just for fun during COVID because there was nothing to do. So I was in class with these cool people. Anyways, so that being said, that's a great place for people to start off at. Develop good habits, develop good ideas of mixing. The professor there, both I think Professor Delto, Professor Helgeson were my mentors, and I was on the phone with him today. We're still talking about things that we can, I can help out at the college, maybe some opportunities they have for me. So it's great to keep connections over there.
You don't have that kind of relationship with your professors at a 4-year university?
No, there's no way. I called him on the phone while he was driving right now.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's incredible. They're really the nicest people.
I had a physics teacher. Let me just say this. I had a physics teacher, physics 2, they're like physics 207 or whatever the class was. I skipped the entire year, the entire quarter. I skipped every class. I go into the midterm, first time seeing the professor. And I take the midterm. Yeah, it was bad. The first time I see the professor, I take the midterm. I finish first.
Really?
Of course, yeah, because I didn't know what I was doing.
You failed.
I guess, yeah. So this massive auditorium fits like 500 to 1,000 kids, courses. Right? And so we're all taking the midterms. I come down first. He leans back. He's sitting in the chair. Drop-off box is behind him. He goes, how was it? I go, you don't want to know. And he never sees me again.
Do you think he knew you didn't come to class ever? Or there's so many kids in that?
There's so many kids. And
I'm sure he has an inclination.
I went like the first 2 weeks, but he wasn't there the first 2 weeks. There was a sub the first 2 weeks. So that's why I didn't know him. That's why I didn't see him. And then after that, I just didn't go.
That's so funny. That is so funny.
Okay, keep going.
So the second thing for an education and affordable, so these aren't essentially always free. There's always YouTube. I'd highly recommend not sticking to YouTube if there's things that you're interested in specific, right? Like how does this work on what type of compressors are there? What are the types? But functionality, learning from other engineers, unless they're like really, really well-established engineers. I'm not talking YouTube engineers. People that are like household names.
Alex Toomey?
Sure, right? Yeah. They have like streams. Josh Goodwin, Alex Toomey, Mixed by Ali. All those guys have streams. That's cool. But learning from someone on YouTube, you'll get into maybe habits that you shouldn't. I don't know. It's just not safe. There's another website called Udemy, Udemy. You can essentially learn anything on this website. They have a lot of stuff for DAWs. If you want to learn your DAW really well, they have a bunch of courses. They're probably less than $100, and they're like 20-hour lectures, basically, that you can sort of pick the clips. They have practices. There's ones on mixing and mastering. But these are all like certified people that can teach you these courses within the comfort of your home, whenever you'd like, and it's very affordable. Udemy. It's a very, very good service. I used it to learn how to use Ableton. That's how I learned how to use Ableton. I had no idea what I was looking at. I used that, and now I'm Ableton god.
Can I say what I used to learn Ableton?
What's up?
Kenny Beats.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I learned. Who is just posted... I'm sure you can still find them, but he would just he would stream on Twitch. I don't know if he does anymore, but he would stream on Twitch, and then the VODs would get posted on YouTube, and then the VODs would get cut by video editors, just random guys. Flico.
And another one, I forgot the other one. He shouts them out. He talks about them.
But they would post them, and then I would watch those, and that's how I learned how to use Ableton.
Damn.
So that's a form of YouTube for university.
Only if you could also learn how to produce like him.
So disrespectful.
And only if I could learn how to mix like
literally like a small Kenny Beats.
Only if I could learn how to mix like Alex Toomey.
The man's like 6'7". I'm like a small Kenny Beats.
So Udemy is really good. That's a great website to check out. Another one that I pulled up is
University of Cambridge.
Yeah, Cambridge Music Technology. And you can look up there. It's a STEM. You can like look up Cambridge Music Technology free stems. You can get free multi-tracks and stems downloadable from any genre, and you could just practice mixing and build a portfolio like that. So if anyone asks you, you can have all these songs mixed and mastered, or just mix whatever it is and send it out as your portfolio for the songs that you worked on. They're essentially free. They're royalty free. I don't think you could post the music, but they're available to the public. Like as I've talked about this sometime before on our old podcast, they actually have celebrity recordings as well. Like I had a full recording from Alan Stone. It was on that website. His whole live set was recorded and posted on that website.
I know another one is that Logic posts Logic user sets.
Really?
I know that there's a Michael Jackson one.
Oh, nice.
Like Thriller.
Oh, that's why.
And then Billie Eilish.
That's why I've been seeing the Michael Jackson ones. They're like isolated Michael Jackson vocals. I'm like, is this real?
Yeah, it's like there's no way you got these that clean. How are you getting these isolated? It's like I think Logic, specifically Apple, has like a promo like with people that use Logic.
Right.
Obviously, Michael Jackson didn't use Logic.
You never know.
You never know.
Ahead of the times.
SM7s.
Wait, that's a good one.
Give me for the layman who's like, I know nothing about engineering or I know very little about engineering,
Mm-hmm.
give me 5 topics. 5 topics.
Okay.
5 things that you would look up on YouTube to learn.
Okay. First, whatever DAW you're using,
Mm-hmm.
I'd look up the details about how to use that DAW.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I'd learn how all the stock plugins work.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same thing? I don't think so. I don't know. Like the functionality is one, and then the other one is like stock plugins, and also like if you don't know what reverb, delay, modulation, chorus, if you don't know what all those things are,
Phase.
specifically for your DAW, phase,
Saturation.
panning, saturation,
Compression,
EQ, all those things. If you don't know what I just said, look up how to use them within your given DAW.
Sends,
so that you know
buses.
Exactly.
Sorry. Keep going. Sorry.
Sure.
Sorry.
And then I'd look up the different variations of those things. Like once you have like the macro sense of it, like a compressor. Okay, now you have like FET compressors, very mute compressors.
Oh god.
You know, tube compressors, optical compressors. The list goes on. diode bridge compressor, whatever. Learning those, and then also different types of EQs, parametric,
sure,
graph EQs, and Pultec. But only because when you know your tools, you don't have to think about the stress of the application. You could just think creatively.
Right.
So those are 3 really important things. And then I'd look up. You know what I would look up if I had a better education about this before as an engineer. If I could look up vocal production stuff, like how to. Josh Goodwin is great for this. Josh Goodwin's vocal production's on another level. He gets hired specifically for that, I believe. But he prints the audio. He doesn't create sends. He has like audio tracks. Sometimes he has sends. He has both. He duplicates the file, uses the audio track underneath as the effect. So like the reverb is on 100% on that. And then he has a fader all the way down and automates everything. He is like the king of automation, which I hate because he does it so effortlessly. And in my head, I like avoid anything to do automation. Automation is so annoying.
I saw Jack Antonoff doing that. Someone sent me a clip this morning.
I do that as well sometimes, but I'm so used to doing sends that my brain automatically goes to sends. I forget to try it. But
you can automate sends though, can't you?
Yeah, but it's so much easier because it's just a fader, and you're not dealing with the return and the fader on the individual auxiliary track. So it's just easier. And there's something about I'm gonna say this. There's something about printing effects on an audio file that sounds better than a send. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you have more control over its manipulation. It's like full in effect right in front of you. I don't know why. For me, it just sounds better. Might be my brain.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I would probably do is I don't know, shortcuts.
Sure.
But they all have to do with the DAW, you know what I mean? Vocal production is the only thing that is like an outlier. But I think if you have all the fundamentals down, I'd learn all the shortcuts that your DAW has that would be really useful for you to use on a daily basis. I want to pull up. I want to think of a good one though, something better.
Yeah.
What would I look up on YouTube?
Microphones. It's a little boring, maybe a little too niche.
I mean, I already said like mixing and stuff, like looking at other mixing engineers, but I think looking up, if you're looking to buy your own gear, getting a few YouTube channels that do really good shootouts of the gear, if you can't try it out for yourself, I think that's great. I think that's how I bought my microphone, which has been a great microphone for me, even though I want more to the collection, but it's been a great microphone. And I think you should watch shootouts and look at affordable gear that is coming out and stay up to date with all the gear so that you can get things that are within your budget but perform really well, which there's more and more of those things all the time. Anyways, those are some free resources and slash affordable resources to use.
Nice.
How about yourself?
After you do all of that, you will be a world-class audio engineer.
You'll have your first step. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so for photo video, I'm just gonna start with my 5 YouTube. Starting 5. You ready?
Yeah.
There's
any pages that stick out, by the way? Any channels?
I think I started photography after I'd already learned all of the basic stuff, or like it
was already like a passion thing.
I think I watched the videos when I get interested in a topic or a hobby or something. I watch everything on it.
Astrophysics.
Yeah, everything. So like, even before I had a camera, I was watching exposure triangle stuff, like Sunny 16 rule, like different, just like composition stuff. So I knew the basics before I even had a camera in my hand. So I don't have specific channels for tutorials, but I do have specific channels for watching Kenny Beats produce. I like watching Grainy Days is a great photographer. Just anybody who is captivating in a way that's not just like boring street photography.
I think you mentioned one time Casey Neistat. I forgot his name. His brother.
Oh, Van Neistat.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great. He's great for storytelling and videography.
I think his aesthetic is really nice.
Did you watch his videos?
You showed me.
Oh, okay,
you showed me. The aesthetic is really
nice.
Yeah.
He's got a cool it's almost Wes Anderson style. Like it's very whimsical, but it's not like whimsical storytelling. It's whimsical videography, which is very interesting.
I just thought of something crazy for you.
What?
For you.
What?
You know how they say like you were just saying how you watch all these things and that's how you learn.
Sure.
If you want to be a good if you want to be a great audio engineer, you have to listen to music with intention. You have to dissect. The same with photography and video. Photography and video. If you want to be a great photographer and videographer, watch great movies.
Right. Asian movies.
Not mainstream movies, like things that you consider art.
Yeah. Scrap everything we've done up to this point. Here are my top 5 movies. No, so I think let me
watch indie Korean dramas.
Let me stop sidetracking. Let me get my top 5 out there. So you need to learn for photography and videography. You need to learn the exposure triangle. You need to learn the different camera systems. So there's mirrorless cameras. There's SLRs. There's DSLRs. There's TLRs. There's
S-Log.
There's rangefinders. There's viewfinders. You need to learn
You're running
all
out
of
of fingers to hold your mic.
I know. So you need to learn all of those things.
Yeah.
And then you need to know where you fit into all of it. But for the layman, I think you go with the mirrorless because mirrorless cameras are the best. And so learning the different types of cameras.
Right.
Different types of cameras. 3 would be if you're shooting video, photo, just understanding shutter speed and how shutter speed plays into frame rate and how frame rate plays into different types of video and effects of motion blur. So I used to shoot this podcast at 24 frames per second or 23.97.
And it was ass.
It wasn't ass, but it was like it looks too cinematic.
Oh, okay.
Like because films are shot on 24, Instagram stuff, YouTube videos are usually shot on either 30 or 60. 60 would take too much to shoot in 4K, and I don't want to do that, so I shoot in 30. So there's like a smoothness to the video that wouldn't be there if I was shooting
If you watch this video, which you should be doing, because Matchi does a great job, you can tell how great our audio and mostly our video quality is.
And then, okay.
Matchi does most of
that was the third thing. The fourth thing is the importance of lighting. So like the huge thing here right now, whether or not I pulled it off properly, you can literally see them in the frame. Whether or not I crop those out will be seen later. But there's edge lights on me and Narek, and there's also a main key light. And so before, I used to put the key light directly behind the camera and it would flash us, and so it was a direct angle. But now it's more of a low key light, so I have it feathered down, so it's coming as high as I can get it in my apartment, and then it comes down and then it spills onto us.
Yeah, we look great.
Anyway, so that's lighting, which you need to learn.
You didn't say. Did you say why they're different colors? Taking that into
sure,
consideration?
yeah. So they're different colors as well because their skin tones are different. And Narek is
I'm very pale. If you look at this video before it's edited, I look like a piece of paper.
Yeah,
With the light hitting me, it just like reflects.
A lot of times I have to take the highlights and specifically make the highlights more orange than I would normally.
Yeah.
Because to help your skin.
Yeah. That's why I have an orange light.
Yeah, that's also why you have an orange light, and I have a blue one to split us up. Also, these pillows, which usually are more in frame. I have the white pillow behind me.
I always get the tan pillow.
The orange pillow.
When I fix the
leather pillow.
When I fix the couch, because I come here and it's a mess. This is Machi's apartment. When I fix and vacuum the couch and fluff the pillows, I make sure I get the brown one.
I always make sure you get the brown one as well. Anyway, and then the fifth thing. Hold on, I had it, dude. I had it, dude. It was like the perfect one. I literally saved it for last because it was the best one. Hold on, Mind Palace. I've been watching Sherlock. Mind Palace. Yeah, and then for the fifth one, I'll say just like fucking different kinds of lenses or something.
Yeah, we're pissed off. I made him forget.
Learning composition, different kinds of lenses.
Where can you learn these things?
On YouTube. These are all things to look up on YouTube.
Look up on YouTube. Any other resources that you use besides your YouTube?
Oh my gosh, the fifth one I remembered.
You're
It's
welcome,
scrap
you
the
stupid
lenses
idiot.
one.
I didn't mean to
Color
call you an idiot.
grading. You need to learn how to color
Color
grade.
grade.
So when I started color grading, specifically with photo, I was doing all this, all
Mumbo
that
jumbo.
hue shifting. I was removing blues. I was removing greens. I thought I was cool. I thought I was like a hip Instagram photographer. And then like, I started working with a mentor. I started working with a mentor. No, still talking about photo. So I started working with a mentor. I was like, you don't do any hue shifting? He's like, no, I try to stay away from it. I was like, I guess I'm never hue shifting ever again.
Which is why first impressions are important.
And so, like, look up color grading. It's really important to.
It's very abstract. It's hard to.
It's very hard to visualize things. It's like mixing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Color grading is the mixing of video. And
you have to be able to prime your eyes basically and be like, oh, this skin tone, even though it's orange, I can tell it's too green or it's too red or it's too blue or it's too orange. So there's 4 different white balances.
You are a human palette.
Yeah, and
Beautiful.
so just understanding like. What I didn't understand at the beginning was like clean image. So like I didn't understand that you had to set your white balance properly and then fuck up your image from there. And so I was always just working with a dirty image and then my grades would never come out clean. Anyway, but then also working on video and editing color grades for video helped with my color grades for photo, my photo editing. So another thing to look at is just like different styles of editing. A huge resource which you can't get online.
Mm-hmm. Or books.
Hold on,
let him cook. Was that an actual mouth?
Okay, great.
Buying photo albums.
Photo books. So there's one huge thing that you can't learn from online and from, YouTube photographers. A lot of the best photographers don't have a need to make a YouTube, right? They don't need supplemental income, or they were shooting before YouTube was a thing.
Before cameras were invented.
So that guy Daido Moriyama, he was a huge Japanese photographer in the 50s.
Oh, nice.
Don't quote me if I'm wrong. And then just learning, getting photo books, learning from old things, learning from old media, seeing how things are edited, seeing how film does it. It's just like the difference between audio and video is that, or an audio and visual is that with visual, it's so much easier to recreate. Like recreating music is a lot harder than it is to recreate a photo.
It's not the same, man.
Recreate the lighting from a photo. Another thing, a huge resource I use is Pinterest. And like for the last photo shoot I did, let me throw up some pictures. Boom, boom, boom,
boom,
boom, boom. All right, so those are some photos. Man. Shout out Caden. But those, I used Pinterest and I created a visual board before the shoot to reference for posing and also lighting setups and also color grading so that I knew like going into it to have a more clear visual of what we were doing. Anyway, that's a very long-winded way to say
it's great.
Those are the things that you should do with
and your resources. Also, we want to mention resources, finding a good mentor, which can be difficult.
Yeah.
But reach out to people you look up to. You never know, they might, reach back.
The other thing too is like if you can't find a mentor, another thing is just to find friends who also do photography, because then you can shit talk their images and they shit talk your images.
That's great.
And like having someone else analyze your photos because you're so biased and because you have context about things that weren't in the photo, like about the surroundings. It's like you'll be able to see something different than what somebody else sees. So
that's why I send Matchi all my mixes.
Yeah, and then I slam them down.
He doesn't slam them enough. Actually, that's a problem. Fucking guy.
But yeah, I when I started photography, I was comparing with my friend all the time, and we would sit there for hours just talking about photos and like lighting and like why these colors work or why these colors don't work or why these leading lines work and why these leading lines don't work in the composition. That kind of thing.
I actually want to break this down even further.
Okay.
If you had to name, I want to make it possible for myself too. So if you had to name, it's like someone's starting off, right? What camera they should get as a starting photographer or videographer?
That's crazy. That's crazy. You can't put me on the spot like that.
No, I'll do something like that too. I'll do like first micro. Would you want to stick to one? Like we just give it one. Like you have one microphone, one camera.
One microphone, one camera?
Yeah.
What's the budget? Is this for professional? Is this someone who wants
professional?
To become,
under $1,000?
Hold on, let me see.
Under 1,000? I don't know what the average cost for a camera is.
More than that.
Yeah, average microphone is probably less. It's probably within like $500. But my microphone's gonna be a little less than 1,000.
I think, man.
Just give him It doesn't have to be a beginner.
Starting out,
if you want to be a professional photographer,
if you want to be a professional, get a Sony A7 IV.
What lens?
Get a Sony 24-70 f2.8 G Master. That is the camera lens combo that I may be incredibly biased towards because that's what I started with. I didn't start with that, but that's what I've been using and that's what I started professionally shooting with. Mm-hmm. And I think it's like there's a reason why everybody professionally in LA shoots video on Sony.
Great answer.
Thank you. Let me hear your answer for.
You know, it's funny because I haven't actively owned this microphone, but I've heard it.
Don't say it.
What?
Oh, no. Let me hear it. And then I'll say whether or not you said what I said you shouldn't say.
Vanguard.
Oh, okay.
V4 version 2.
Really? Is that tube?
Tube microphone.
Oh, it is tube.
$1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, how much does yours come out to? 3,000? 3,500?
If you can get the A7 IV for a good deal, maybe even now you could get it for like 17, 18. Maybe $2,000. Let's say $2,000 for the camera body, 1,500 for the lens, 3,500.
Okay.
Not cheap.
Professional.
That's all you would ever need. You would be able to shoot with that probably for the next 10 years.
Vanguard V4 version 2. The tube microphone. I've heard the microphone a lot. I haven't used it. I haven't owned it. But I really want to try. I want to try it on my own artists. But every time I hear the recordings, they are so smooth and even.
Really?
Not even. They're just so smooth. It's one of those microphones that is just not top heavy. And I like that. The top end is not brittle. It's more like a well-rounded, like natural voice. And we also had the privilege of talking to the owner.
Shout out Vanguard.
And the person who solders all the I don't know if he still does, but he used to solder all the microphones. They really, really take pride in every single piece that goes into that microphone. They also have a condenser version, which is like $700. It's cheaper, but it's just a condenser version, I think, of that microphone, which is also probably a very good microphone. And one more, Lauten Audio's tube microphone, which is I think $800. They have a version 2 of it as well, where they
tube.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know if you've seen it. It looks like the Vanguard actually. It's just a different color. But they corrected some of the things that were wrong with the microphone. It had sort of like a weird brittle top end, but now they corrected it, and I think it sounds a lot better. That is also a great microphone. These are like professional. Like you're gonna use this on every recording.
Microphone? Lauten Audio.
Yeah,
$800.
Yeah.
Really? You know, honestly, I think if you wanted to get into videography, you could totally shoot a Fujifilm.
Look, $600. Lauten Audio LA320 V2 large diaphragm tube for $600.
No way.
Yeah.
Why don't we have one of those?
I don't know. Because I sort of want the Vanguard. The Vanguard's my number one pick I would purchase. That's the first thing I would purchase.
Honestly, my number one pick right now would be the Fujifilm X-H2S, even though I've never shot on Fujifilm, so I have no idea how good the video is, but that's what I would get.
If you're gonna buy a microphone, I'm staring at you, but I'm talking. Look at me. Staring at you, talking to them. Staring at you, talking to them. If you don't have the money, let me say this: before you spend the money on a microphone, buy some kind of acoustic treatment, or else that microphone is obsolete.
Okay.
Wherever you're recording that microphone is going to sound like the terrible room that you are in.
Yep. Scrap everything we set up to this point. Get an Audio Technica AT2020.
Just get some treatment for your room. Or look at YouTube guides on like DIY little vocal booths. You can do DIY. Building your own panels is not that expensive. It's just a little bit of work if you're a handy person. PVC pipe. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's just moving blankets and PVC pipes. But there's also like making your own panels, which is not very expensive. They sell all the stuff for it. If you're a handy person, or at least are willing to try, I'm positive that you could pull it off. Anyways, that's everything that I have for my educational section. Mentors, online resources, and number one is obviously putting in the effort to learn all these things. If you have a will, you have the way.
Yeah. And I think you're gonna reach the point where I've reached, unfortunately, is like it's a lot harder to want to learn things and want to like educate yourself on things that you're working in all the time. So it's a lot harder for me.
Yeah, you want to like take breaks, and you also like plateau, and then the only thing to really push you is experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's hard for me.
Just
like,
experience.
I know there's more I could learn with photo and video, but it's hard for me to want to watch photo and video content.
Because it's all we do.
Yeah. Well, it's all I do, but yeah.
Reach out to us if you have any questions about our biased opinions on cameras and microphones.
Yeah,
and
very
gear.
biased, extremely biased.
And we love being biased. Reach out to us on Instagram. My handle is mixing.wavs.
Nice.
Mixing.waves.
Nice.
WAVS. And my name is Narek Matchi. You can try to spell that if you'd like. And then Matchi is
Obscure Matchi, OBSCUREMATCHI. I won a spelling bee senior year of high school.
Very impressive.
With the word liaison.
LIA.
Keep going.
ISON.
Nice. In the paper, they wrote about it in the paper. They spelled the word wrong in the paper.
No way.
Yeah. They spelled it LIAISION.
No
liaison. Way. I'm like, what is this? Like, what?
They didn't have Google Docs back then.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is wild.
Oh man.
Anyways,
anyway,
have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much for listening.
This was a helpful video.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, which isn't going to be a thing anymore. YouTube. Leave us a like. Drop a comment. Smash that subscribe button. Smash that notification bell.
Smash Matchi.
Deezer, Tidal, Amazon Podcast.
This is TalkBox.
Thank you so much.
Yalla bye.
We did it.